welcome back to Really Authentic Human, the podcast. This is episode 3 with your host, Samantha, me, and my beautiful guest today, Christina Earth Angel Goddess, Alyssa. I just love you so much. Yeah. Christina and I met in retreat. I feel like everybody's going to get sick of me telling stories of all the women I've met on retreat. But you're my second guest from the retreat, and I had to have you on here because you embody authenticity and self-love and this like beautiful, motherly, juicy, feminine, radiant energy that I just wanted to have you here. So welcome. How you doing?
So happy to be here. Movie shaking and all. Hey.
Shaking it all. Yeah, if you haven't shaken your boobies this morning, ladies, go ahead and give them a shake.
Yeah, it's good for the heart.
Super good for the heart. I obviously invited you here because you know that why, but basically Christina has an amazing starting over story, and it just embodies what it means to shift out of like codependent and sometimes toxic environments into radical self-love. And do you want to share how your perception of how we met, or like just tell us a little bit about you, what you do for work, who you be?
Okay, where do I start?
It's a lot.
Well, as she said, my name is Christina Alyssa. I met this beautiful human being on retreat last year, and during this retreat, being in the location space and with other beautiful heart-centered women, and just being in like authentic sisterhood and vulnerable expression, authenticity, all the things. I really allowed myself to show up as myself, and how full I felt to be the pure essence that is me. I was gonna say I. That is I. That is me.
That is I. It is you.
Yeah. And I don't think I made it a big deal externally to our social group and in the environment, but for me it was a internal explosion for me to fully be satisfied and satiated as who I am in that moment in time. And Sam got to experience my full expression in that community, in that container. And when I came back to reality, here I live in the Northeast, Connecticut. It was a drastic visual and sensation being in this energy again. It felt static. It felt stagnant. And I realized that there was a deeper commitment to myself that needed to happen for me to continue to step into my authenticity, my vulnerability, and continuing to be the expression of who I truly am.
Oh, I have like womb tingles. My heart and my womb are like, yes. Yeah. And if that sounds weird to people, you'll get used to it, I guess. I don't know. But like, yeah,
and it's been a journey. Like, it's been a huge journey for me. I've gone through severe heartbreak. I've been deceived. I've deceived myself. I've been abandoned. I've abandoned myself multiple times. I've ridiculed. I've manipulated myself. I've manipulated other people. There's been moments and versions of myself that I can look back on and see where I was hurting.
Yeah.
Where I was fearful and how I was projecting that out to other things and people and other experiences, but also like how I treated myself.
Yeah.
Even worse. It was, yeah. So that led me to really choosing myself and wanting to change my expression, wanting to change my energy, my vibration. I wanted to change what I was feeling, and I wanted my reality to change with me. So that led me to making these choices in life, which ended up in divorce and, cutting out a lot of friends and family and a lot of habits, which I'm still working through.
Sure.
Um, and seeing things differently and giving other people kind of less responsibility of their reaction of me.
Ooh, yeah. Okay, I want to backtrack for a second.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. This is all so good. This is all so, so good. And I feel like so lit up speaking to you because so there is authenticity, right? And like we all have like our own expression of authenticity. But what I love about you in particular, Christina, is your presentation, your embodiment of your authenticity is it comes across as effortless. You just
Aw.
like glow in this like self-love. And I just want to have like three things, but I want to start back to what you mentioned at the retreat, which for people who don't know, Christina and I were in this container hosted by Numana of Modern Goddess Lifestyle, where we were on was it 7 days or 5 or 6? I don't know. It felt like a year, but
Well,
like,
it was pre-retreat and then post-retreat were together.
yeah.
So
So
I was
it
like total
was
7 days
okay.
together,
Okay. Yeah.
but
So
the
we
retreat
spent
was only
seven
like 5.
days.
Yeah.
Okay. 7 days together inside this container. There was about maybe like 12 women there who are all extremely successful, high vibrational, amazing women. And to just like what you said exactly, when you're in environments where people just are so genuine and they're wanting to know your full expression and really genuinely, because especially as like women, I think that we sometimes get pitted against one another or it becomes this competition. But you and I had this amazing gift of being in an environment where there was no competition, there was just pure love, and everybody got to have their full embodied expression, and there was always enough, and there was always more, and there was always like more to dive deeper into. And so yeah, I just want to witness you and commend you and your vulnerability inside that container to allow yourself to relax and let the guards down so that way you could step into your full embodiment and have that glass ceiling shattered for you. I think that's beautiful and so
Aw.
amazing, and
I just want to
congratulations. It was so good. It was so good. This retreat was like crazy, but also so good. And I felt the same way. Like I am somebody who I store a lot of tension in my physical body. I store like a lot of like fear and frustration and anger in my hips in particular, like my hip flexors and rotators right there, my inner pelvis area, just like tight. I have hip pain all the time. But on retreat, because we were in environments where we got to relax, where we were with people who really loved us, like really
Yeah.
genuinely, I had like no body pain. And I can like picture, I had none. I had none the whole retreat. I remember the day that I like realized it, I was like, holy shit, like my hips don't hurt. This is crazy. And like one thing I want to say about the retreat, and then I'll get to the next topic, but there was a moment sitting on the couch with you, and you were asking me what I wanted to do for my birthday, and you like put your arm around me and like tucked me in, and you guys, Christina has the most amazing, nurturing auric field about you. Like that hug healed some sort of mother wound inside of me. Like, and mom, if you listen to this, it has nothing to do at all with our relationship or I was raised or anything like that. Like, I just felt like, God, like this woman really is seeing me right now. And I think that's so beautiful when you get to have that experience. And then this is going to transition to what I want to talk about next. But yeah, when you go from being in environments that are so authentic, that are so vibrationally high, into the density
Mhm.
of what a lot of people live in day to day, I just want to propose this question for people, at least. Perhaps that uncomfiness that you feel in your body or in your day to day routine is not because of anything that you're doing wrong. It's not necessarily you, but take an inventory of what environments you're in and who you're surrounded by and what your job looks like and what city you're living in, because there is a vibrational frequency that sometimes is very dense. And when you allow yourself the opportunity to set those guards down, be in environments of pure love, like you can access that. We can access what we felt on retreat.
Mhm.
Now it's a little harder, but like we can get back to that state of like radical pure love, acceptance, and authentic joy, but it's a practice.
Mm.
Um, which then I want to continue and like have you share some of your story, because you have an amazing story of going from toxic relationship divorce into radical self-love. So yeah, thank you for letting me share that. And thank you for everyone for listening. And Christina, if you will take the mic once more. And, yeah, just share a little bit about your pain to purpose story, your
Yeah.
radical expression.
Um, Life is always moves in cycles. So the places that I went to through with my ex-husband were a reflection of earlier life. I see that now. It just was more extreme because I needed to see, like truly see it for what it was. And I'm just gonna start this off like that, but like I thank God every day for smiting me.
Those
um,
blessings in disguise.
it really was like that tower moment needed to happen, and I needed to step more into my authority, which
Sure.
was choosing myself. Literally, that's what this theme is self-love, choosing yourself, and radically choosing yourself. There's a difference of choosing yourself versus radically choosing yourself and like
Will you explain
going
some
in.
of those differences?
Yeah, so for me in the past, like choosing myself was, oh, I'm gonna eat a salad instead of this cupcake. I'm gonna, work 12 hours and then I'll take tomorrow off, whatever. I'm still choosing myself and my health and my whatever. It was always half-assed, like, oh, I want to go for this walk, but I really could go for the run, but like, I'm not gonna go. I'm just go for a walk. Like, oh, I really don't want to go to this birthday party, but then my family's gonna shame me if I don't go. You know, like certain things like that versus like really choosing myself and like cutting ties, like cutting people off, cutting people from my energy source, from my expression, from ooh, I'm hitting that, sorry. Just literally like, can I swear in here?
Sure.
Okay.
I don't know.
Saying fuck all y'all,
Yeah.
fuck this responsibility, fuck this stress right now. Like I'm at a point where I am bubbling over with so much inflammation, so much stress, so much emotional trauma and baggage that like what I really want and need is to say fuck everything, fuck all y'all. Like this is about me right now and I'm about to get selfish. And whatever that
Mm,
looks like and wherever that's going to lead me, because I came in as one, I'm going to leave as one. That is
preach.
it. Like the fire is lit right now. Holy fuck. um like it had to be that authoritative for me to
Yeah.
like check myself. In
Mm,
those moments where I wanted to go back, like my ex would try to like breadcrumb me and like manipulate
yeah.
me. And I just like seeing like what I allowed other people, like how I allowed people into my field, how I allowed them to treat me and like manipulate me in a way so that I saw myself as less than.
Ooh, I want to touch on this really fast because this is so flippin' good. Yeah. So radical self-love and acceptance does look a little bit selfish, and that's why everybody tells you it's a bad thing to be selfish, right?
Yeah.
But the people who get it will stay in your field, and the people who get upset when you start setting boundaries and speaking up for yourself, they were gaining something from your lack of self-control and respect. So if you, I just want to put this out there,
No,
like if
exactly.
you
That's exactly it.
100%, if you're in a codependent environment or relationship, which the definition of codependency is giving anything, any person, place, thing, or item outside of yourself any sort of power at all over your direct influence and happiness, that is codependency.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and when you start to pull back your power,
Amen.
people who are manipulative or who enjoyed you in that codependent state will
Mm-hmm.
start to act up. But the other part of this that I wanted to touch on, which is so interesting when you start to do this kind of like work, is we all manipulate each other all day long. And so part of like radical expression and like radical self-love, at least to me, and you can touch on this or not, is like taking responsibility for your actions within those moments. So like recognizing when you abandon yourself in order to appease someone else so that way they love you, because that's a form of manipulation.
Mm-hmm.
When did you say the right things even though you didn't want
Mm-hmm.
to say it because you knew it would make the other person happy so then they would love you, because that's a form of manipulation. Like when
Yeah.
when where in your own expression were you lacking boundaries that when you do start to do this really deep work, this radical internal work, becomes the realization of like, holy shit, like I'm not just a victim in this. Like I had a portion to do with this. And now it's not just like, fuck all y'all, I'm gonna go do me. It's also like, fuck all of y'all, like, damn it. Why did I
You gotta be
do this
accountable.
to myself? Yeah, you have to hold yourself accountable. So anyway, that's all I wanted to say about the whole like manipulation thing and everything, because that is hard. That is hard to do. And like setting boundaries and getting angry and like recognizing like this is not working. I'm over it. I'm fucking done. This
Yeah.
shit is gotta go. And I've got to radically change or shift something. I have to transform my
Mm-hmm.
life. Otherwise I'm gonna be stuck like this. So
Yeah.
all you have to leave, I'm starting from scratch. That is so powerful.
Yeah. The
So
biggest thing
powerful.
was seeing where I contributed to the chaos.
Mhm.
Um, and that was, it was difficult at moments and times, but also it was easy. It was effortless because of the conditioning in which I received growing up. I was always at fault.
Mm.
Like I always had that mindset, like, oh, it's on me. Like it's on me. Like everything's on me. And that's just from my
Sure.
upbringing and my conditioning, my environments and the people that I was with. So for me to take accountability for myself, it wasn't too difficult, but it was changing the language in which I was taking accountability of myself. Yeah.
What did that look like and feel like too? Like that, because that's so poignant, like changing the language of accountability. So like before, I would imagine or assume that accountability looked like always being there for your family, like being the fixer or like compromising to do stuff,
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah,
And then like,
taking on emotional responsibility for others, being the middle child. Um trying to play referee in a way,
mhm.
for my parents. But not really having someone there to lead me with my own emotional baggage
Sure.
to lead me to express myself in a healthy environment, to have conversations about what I'm feeling and like what I'm experiencing in this world instead of me shutting down or like feeding myself. That's a
Yeah.
huge like codependent like habit of mine, is
Same.
feeding myself to comfort and soothe and numb
Yeah.
instead of expressing myself. I
Sure.
learned this later in life. But so it's more so like the internal dialogue that I have for myself instead of just like feeding myself like, oh my God, it's my fault. It's my fault. Like I need to
Mhm.
fix this. Like I need to do something because I did this. And
Yeah.
it's just like, no, no, no. Like we contributed. The switch was we contributed to this, yes, from a place of fear, from a place of anger, from a
Mhm.
place of this, and that, because we weren't loving ourselves. We weren't asking for what we need. We weren't expressing our boundaries and what those limits are. We weren't having these conversations because A, we didn't put ourselves in a safe environment. I wasn't feeling safe with myself. There was no trust within myself. So how can I trust other people? And if I'm not giving myself what I need, how can I ask other people to give me what I need when I don't know what the fuck I need?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you have these other people who are like in my environment, they're just like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
And then there's other people that will utilize that
Sure.
lack of
Sure.
trust, manipulate you to less likely trust yourself and trust them and
Yeah.
their opinion and their mindset and their intention.
Yeah.
And that led me to my ex-husband. And it led me to being totally dependent on him
Mhm.
emotionally, fearful of my life, but not in a way like he was gonna hurt me, but like I was gonna be alone for the rest of my life. And he was the only one that was gonna love me as I am. False. I'm gonna tell you that right now. That was a lie. A
Yeah.
lie I believed for most of my life that I was gonna be alone. Because it was hard for me to see when I was being given unconditional love. And I was told that it was unconditional, but it was actually super manipulative and conditional.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's just like when you see the world with veils and you see
Mhm.
truth,
Mhm.
and you don't question yourself, or you don't have people around you to help you see an outside perspective of what's going on,
Yeah.
it can be really difficult because you feel like you're living in a world that's
I mean, it's just not for, it's just,
go ahead.
I was gonna say, it's just not, when you're living in a world of veils, yeah, there's a conditioning, you're not equipped with the tools to process those veils. Like you're not even aware most of the time that they are happening. And then there is a shift that happens, I think, for a lot of people. There's a moment where you can call it divine intervention, you could call it like a God whisper or a God wink or like whatever you want to call it. But
Yeah.
there's like a moment of this, just like a tiny inkling of like doubt or curiosity of like, huh, I don't know if I love this. I
Yeah.
don't know if this is true. And then your body too, like the emotional eating and things like that, your body keeps the score. It keeps all of your emotions. So like you start to notice, maybe it's not even a God wink first, but maybe you start having like severe like inflammation or something. Like in my past and most recent relationship, my body was screaming at me that like I was not in the right environment, and I ignored it forever. Like my cycles became irregular. I had a miscarriage. I like was swollen all the time. My hair started falling out. And I was like, I'm fine.
Yeah.
I'm fine, But like when you start having those just like irregular things that perhaps you did not have before, that's when it's time to like take a step back and kind of be like, huh, is the environment I'm in really serving me? And then people are inherently selfish. I think that. I don't think people are inherently sinful, but I think we are selfish. And it's because at the end of the day, we are like animals, and animals' main goal is to survive. Like, so how can you adapt to your environment to best survive? And where you shift out of that way of thinking and into this high level of consciousness is in the what am I trying to say? Like, as soon as you accept that perhaps something's not working for you and you start to stand up for yourself, that's when things
Yeah.
will shift. And then the people, the bad environments, whatever you want to call it, they will eventually start to fall away.
Yeah.
Um, and you get to then be selfish in a whole new way where it's not out of survival, it's out of self love. So,
Yep.
like, I can give to you because my cup is full, and my cup is only full when I'm making sure that I'm taken care of. So that looks like trusting myself, accepting my own boundaries, eating right, exercising, getting enough sleep, going and
Yeah.
doing things that bring me joy. You know what I mean? Like maybe I don't go to the birthday party and you find out that I went and got a massage instead. And let me tell you, it's not personal. It's just what I needed in that moment in time, you know?
My
Like
favorite line. I'm like, why are you taking shit personally? Because it
it's
has
not
nothing to do with
personal.
you. Like, it
Yeah.
has nothing to do with you. Let that shit go.
Yeah. 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 It's like being offended. I feel like being offended takes so much work. It takes so much work to be offended over something. Like, babe, if it doesn't affect you in your day to day, like directly, then like just let it go. Like,
I know. Hopefully,
you
I'm
know.
being clear and concise. I feel like I'm all over the place, but
No, you're not all over the place at all. I feel like I'm rambling. So,
no, like you're clarifying what I'm saying in a more conscious, eloquent way.
well, you're telling your story, and I'm just the viewer, and then our viewers will be viewers. But
But I
we
love
love
the
to have you.
reflection. Like, this is what I
Thank
live
you.
for. I
Thank
live
you. Thank you. This is my
for.
job. So, like, if people don't know yet, like, I also brought Christina on the show today because I want to take her through an exercise to show how you can embody, like, this, like, radically transform and, like, move, shift through big emotions fast and into radical self love. So, maybe we'll do that in a moment. But yeah, I just appreciate your story. So that way I have something to reflect back to because
I can go into depth or detail on some things,
yeah,
but like if we
honestly,
want to go there.
I wasn't gonna, it was gonna be up to you and like we could like piggyback off of the whole relationship thing. Like everyone, Christina said something to me before we hopped on the podcast. Because I got out of a relationship like 4 or 5 months ago that just fucked me up bad. um, and
Right.
we were talking about detachment, and you said something really beautiful that the art of like detachment was a daily practice for you when you first got out of your divorce. And I would love if you would share a little bit more about that and then like what that specific daily practice looked like. Like, when did you practice that? Like, when did it come up? How did you do it? What was it like?
Yeah, definitely we can do that.
Okay.
Um Detachment is a very beautiful skill to have. I see the world differently with detachment. And I love the experience that I have in this reality when I have this detachment. So with me and my ex, it came up as a necessity. My inner authority stepped in. Like, there was a inner part of me, my inner soul was just like, nope, not anymore. We see the bullshit. You need to like really step into your strength, and you need to continue to let this go and move through the grief and continue to let it go. So for me, whenever I would have an emotional charge and I would think of him,
Mhm.
um I would cry. I would cry my eyes out. But if it got to the point where like I was hyperventilating, I was making it more extreme than what it needed to be. Just like tapping into my breath, my heart, my solar plexus, my sacral, and just breathing into that area and just like asking for the cord to be released and sometimes commanding it. That was
Mm.
one way that I was doing it. Like, you have no authority over this sovereign body and being. I detach from you. I detach from you. I detach from you. You do not have any authority here. I am my own authority. Be gone. Be gone. Be gone. Um, One way.
I love it.
Other ways, I've done like cord cutting meditations
Hmm.
where I've connected with Source Gaia.
Hmm.
And well, you should be doing that anyways. Just for like grounding practices so that
Yeah,
energy can move elsewhere, to be transmuted, alchemized to whatever your intention may
all
be.
the good things. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Other moments where I've done cord cutting meditations, frequency music for cord cutting, and I would imagine cords coming
Mhm.
out of me, and there were like thousands of them. And I would cut them, like I would have like from Hercules, like golden shears,
Yeah.
and I would continue to cut them. And they would move through a different portal. I would close that portal, return to sender. It is not mine. I do not want them. Good luck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I yeah.
There's
10 out
more,
of 10
but like,
advice.
yeah.
I just want to touch really quick, just for if there's anybody listening on the podcast who's not familiar with like the terms that we're using.
Oh,
So, no, it's okay. It's not at all. I just want to clarify for people just in case they're like, maybe like they can relate, but they're not sure what those terms mean and they want to use this practice. So, you can think of chords as energetic ropes,
yep.
basically. So when you are like super down bad about somebody, when you're like really, really intertwined with somebody or a place or a thing, there becomes this energetic like string between you and that person, place, or thing, right? That is created. That's like the bond, the imaginary bond that like hold you together. It's like those butterflies in your stomach when you see them, or it's when you have a thought and then the phone rings and it's them on the phone, or like when you're in a room and somebody walks in and you know who it is before you see them, right? We've all had that experience regardless of like spiritual belief or practice or like whatever. So that expression though is an energetic connection. And when we say like cut cords, we mean literally severing, literally the energetic tie to that person. And like how you do that, exactly as you're saying, is you declare out loud, calling back your power, calling back your energy,
Mhm.
stating the boundary between you and that person, place, or thing, which is you have no sovereignty over me. I am calling back my power. This is my body entirely. I'm done with the situation. I wish you so much love and success, even if you don't, because this is another thing too that I think people get hung up on. And if there's any like girlies on here who watch like the like witchy TikToks and they're like, make him think about you by burning this candle. Trash. Leave it
Don't
alone.
do it.
Like,
Don't do
don't
it.
don't do it.
There's
It's
always a
freaking,
reaction to every action.
this is what I'm saying. And there's more there, like there's so much power in your word. And when you choose to be the bigger person, even when it sucks, but like when you choose to be the bigger person and come from love, and there's no need for that, like every time they say my name, like abundance comes to me, or like every da, 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 like I'm gonna burn this candle so they think of me. It's all bullshit. Like, don't do it. Literally, literally call back your power.
Yes.
And there, I just want to say, if somebody did do you dirty, their repercussion is that they no longer have access to your energy.
Yeah.
That is their consequence. And oftentimes, by calling back your power, not only will you feel more embodied and more emboldened, and so your life will start to get better, but they'll get their karma. Like, don't worry about it. It's not your responsibility. Wish them well.
I can attest to that.
Yeah, return to sender, return to sender, return to sender. You know what? I fucking hate that you did that. And I mean, and I'm coming from a very real place and it comes
Yeah.
in waves, but like, I really fucking hate that you did that. It wasn't okay. I don't condone it. But you know what? I forgive you because it's too much work to sit here being angry about it all the time. And I
Hmm.
call back my power and I call back my energy. I cut this energetic cord. I release and relinquish what is not for me. I take with me all of the happy things that were in this relationship because I did love you. But our time is done and you just go on your way.
Yeah.
And imagine literally like if you drop in, you guys, and it could be with anything. This could be with a toxic habit. This could be with a toxic person. It could be with a toxic job. Like if you
Yes.
drop into your body and just like close your eyes, do exactly what Christina said. Take a deep breath, one hand over your heart, which is your heart chakra, your sacral is like your womb space if you're a woman, reproductive organ, below belly if you're a man, and your solar plexus is like all of your below breast, top of belly button. That is your like internal flame,
Mhm.
that's where your power resides. So like really dropping in and imagining that imaginary invisible cord literally being severed. That
Yeah.
is what a cord cutting is. So
Yeah.
powerful.
And some individuals aren't as attuned to their
Yeah.
bodies, which is totally fine. Sometimes it might feel like you don't have like your third eye awaken where you can visualize these things either. And just know like over time, the more sensitive you are to your body, the better you have a relationship with your authority, your body, your trust, um, your inner authority, I think. I wanted to say that. Um, it will feel different. You'll be able to see things a little differently over time. It's just creating a commitment with your intention of what you're looking for and what you're wanting. But for those who aren't as into meditation and like visualization and all those things, another form of cord cutting is writing a letter, which I've done. And sometimes they've been all sadness. Sometimes it's been fucking hateful and pure rage. Other times it's been compassionate. I go through these ranges when it came to him and other people and like habits too. Like you said, it's completely factual. Um, and then once you've committed, using your expression of writing with your energy, putting that into the piece of paper, and you burn it. You burn it.
Literally what I was gonna say. I
Yeah,
love it.
burn
It's
it,
so
burn that
beautiful.
bitch. Or like, if you're more into earth, like you could bury it.
Mhm.
But I love burning it. There's something about just like having it
Yeah.
just like fucking light up and disappear, and it's just like
Yeah.
be gone. Like it is
Well,
gone.
yeah, and fire is a cleanser. I mean, like if you think about like the energetic properties of fire, right? Like what does it do? Of course, it's destructive, but any element is destructive. I mean, water can be a tsunami or a hurricane, and it can also be like a beautiful river, you
True.
know? And like air can be a tornado, but it could also just be a light breeze, you know? So like
Mhm.
there's duality to everything, and like fire in particular has a really, really yummy transmutation quality where like you get to take a physical object, like reduce it down to its most simple form, which is ether, right?
Mhm.
Like you're taking a physical object
Exactly.
and turning it into ether by literally burning it, and it particles go up in the smoke and it returns to source.
Yeah.
So yeah, 10 out of 10 love fire as well for
Mhm.
that property and like
Yeah.
burning things.
Even just like
Absolutely.
staring into a fire, like of a bonfire or like a candle. Like I
Yeah,
do that sometimes where I just stare at it, and
yeah,
I move through so many phases of emotion and like like a somatic release that I'm not even like aware of,
yeah.
just by staring at it and trusting that this fire's got me. And it brings a new connection and trust and relationship with my own inner authority and
For
fire.
sure. What is do you mind me asking what your zodiac sign is?
I'm a Pisces.
A Pisces. Yeah, okay, good. This is another thing too. I know it sounds woo-woo, you guys, and it's because it is. But like here's the thing. If you know your zodiac sign, whether you believe heavily in like that or not, I would encourage you to work with the element that is opposite your sign.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, so like me and Christina are both water signs. She's a
Mhm.
Pisces, I'm a Scorpio. The water signs are Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Our
Yes.
opposite duality, like think about the exact opposite of water, it's fire. Like, you know what I mean? So like water is big and it's fluid and it's moves and it's like all this stuff, and it can get really deep and it can get really heavy. So like
Yes.
having yeah so like having and working with the opposite element, which is fire, where like it's kind of erratic, but you can contain it a little bit better,
Yeah.
and you have the transmutation properties of fire like are so yummy and delicious for water signs. So that's really good. If you're an earth sign, what is that, Virgo, Capricorn, and Taurus, you would probably want to work with water. If you're an air sign is hard. That's what is that? Libra?
Very malleable. Like it's
Yeah,
very adaptable.
you could do pretty much anything. And then like yeah, fire, I'd recommend water. Yeah, so just I just want to toss that out there. But anyways, thank
Yeah.
you for giving us this download of wisdom.
You're
I
welcome.
yeah, I thought it would be really cool to do a brief, like maybe just like 10 minutes
Yeah.
of tapping, so we could give people active representation of what it means to work through something somatically
Mm.
and release. And I was just curious, is there anything in your life in regards to starting over or that you're working through that you feel comfortable sharing, because consent is everything, that you would want to work through? Because I do EFT tapping much different than a lot of practitioners, and I will
Well,
explain.
then I'm very excited for this. Ooh, what do I have to pick one? I'm okay, context. I've made a deeper commitment to myself.
Hmm.
I have a very deep, intimate relationship with myself. And there's certain aspects that have come to the surface that have to do with a, a stronger trust with
Okay.
myself and with source.
Love it.
And I go through these moments where I feel lost, even though
Mhm.
I'm on the right path. Like I am where I'm meant to be. And
Good.
there's everyone can experience this, but like where you're just like, when the fuck is it just gonna show up? Like when am I gonna get confirmation in this reality that
Yeah.
like the work that I'm doing and it's like it's gonna show up. So yeah, that's something that I'm working on right now.
Okay. Beautiful. I love this. Yeah, I too fully understand. It's like when is it my turn? God, like when is all of the work and all of the trauma and everything that I've done and I've been a good servant and I've listened and I've done everything he asked me to do and I keep going deeper, like when is it my turn to have radical success in love, in health, in homing, in job, like in all those things. And it can get really frustrating. Um, okay, so let me explain. So, the way that I was taught to do this practice,
Mhm.
and if you're not familiar with what EFT is, guys, it is emotional, I call it frequency tapping, but that's not what it's actually freedom. The real term is emotional freedom tapping. I call it emotional frequency tapping because we are changing the frequency that you're in through tapping. Um, and what it looks like is I will lead you through a really brief activation of the five senses that will feel a lot like a meditation. So we'll go through, we'll feel into your body, we'll feel into sound, sight, smell, taste to really, really drop into the body. And then from there, we'll shift into tapping. And what I like to do with tapping is use it as a somatic practice where we get out all of the gunk. So instead of just tapping and being like, I'm beautiful, and I know even though I have these doubts that I'm a good person, I am a good person, and I know that God loves me, and da da da, and like all this fluffy nonsense. Um, I like to go in deep. So it would look like I'm really frustrated right now. I'm actually like
Love
kind of annoyed and upset that my things have not come to fruition. Yeah. And so
Do that.
yeah, it's so good. It's so good. You guys, it's so good. And if you do it naturally, Christina, then this will feel so good for you because basically what we're doing is we are going to go through, we'll find one point on the body that kind of feels like a bruise. So you'll know that you hit a point of tension in the body because it'll have a little bit of physical pain. Yeah, I feel it. Oh, all right here. Yeah.
Oh,
Um, and while we're in that spot, we'll talk on what is alive for you. And I will just give you some prompts that may feel you can take them or leave them or go a different direction. And then once you feel like it's been cleared to the best that it can be cleared in like 10-15 minutes, that is when that is when we affirm. So it may look like, and this is the thing, is when you're doing this work, this is the opportunity to say everything that you would never say to that person, place, or thing. This is, you want to be radically authentic with what is alive for you. If it looks like, F that person, fuck, you're such a bit, you know,
yeah.
explicit, whatever. Like the things that you would never say in real life, this is the moment to say them. And then once it's out of your system, that's when you can reaffirm. And that's when you say, even though I said XYZ about XYZ,
Yeah.
I do not actually wish them any harm. I love myself for being vulnerable enough to say what was truly on my mind. I
Mhm.
love my sense of expression. I love, oh, I just love myself. I feel so much better. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And that's when you reaffirm and you get those positive affirmations in to set it in stone.
Okay.
Um, yeah. And then just if anybody's watching and they want to do this practice, I'm going to really quickly go over the tapping points, which it seems like you probably know. So
Side note, I don't follow a sequence. It's
that's okay.
usually when I have a big emotion coming
I love it.
through and my body's like, sit your ass down and feel this stuff. And I'm just like, wherever I want to go. Usually it's my chest, my neck, my
Yeah,
face. That's where
sure.
I go.
That's,
Usually.
yeah. And those are like three main
Yeah, and I'm
points.
just like, I'm just like
Yeah.
this. I'm just like,
Yeah. There, if you should do whatever feels good to you in your body, always 100% of the time. And somatics, just if you've ever heard that term, anybody who's listening, it means of the body. So we're getting emotions out of the body, basically.
mm,
You're like working through it, through the body. Wait, what did you say?
I'll be calling you. We need to do
Oh,
this.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Do it. Same, same, same. So Christina, she is super good at this. You're super good at this, like feeling into the body. I'm imagine you probably shake and roll around and dance and do all those things also. Yeah. So if you're just starting though and you want to try this practice with emotional frequency tapping, these are the main points. It would start at top of the head at what we call your crown. You would start up there, and then you move to just above the eyebrow. And you can do both hands. You can do both eyebrows if you wanted. I like to tap on the third eye, which is like center of the brow often.
Does the hand matter?
Nope. Whatever
Okay.
feels good to you. I'm right-handed, so I'm just like super right-handed.
Yeah, same, same.
And I often will tap with both hands. So like top of eyebrow, and
Mm-hmm.
then it shifts to side of eye, or like temple area, I guess would be where it is at next. And
And
then the
don't like
next,
dig it in, guys. Just like a tap,
yeah,
like a
yeah,
tap,
a
soft
light
tap.
you are not hitting yourself.
I've done it. Just
If you
like
feel
break.
smacking around, if you feel like you need to smack something around, go punch a pillow. Like, you know what I mean?
Where's the
Like,
land? Go outside and just like hit the
punch
ground.
the land. Yeah, get
Yeah,
it, break some sticks or get a bat,
grass,
whatever.
grass.
Yeah. So, tapping on the side of the eye is the next point. And then something that like is always a hot spot for me is just under the eyes, like on your cheeks, kind
Yeah.
of like upper cheek area. This spot for me, ugh, for whatever reason, is always super lit up. And then next point, you'll probably love this, Christina, is Cupid's bow. So just on top of the upper lip, beneath the nose. This is a really great one, you guys, if you have things that you want to say that you don't say. You know, like if you ever get lumpy in the throat, tight in the
Yeah.
throat, this is a good one. Then chin is a good one. This is too is great for vocal activation, getting things up and out of your system that you want to say and get rid of. And if you want to tap along the throat, you can, but it's really the chin. And it's again what feels good to you. And then yeah, you're right on the money. The collarbone. This is a really big one for people. That was next. Collarbone and chest.
Yeah.
Collarbone and chest. This is a big one. This is right in your heart center. This is where we store a lot of grief and sadness and love, you know? So that can be tight. I like to tap in between breasts, but that is not like pertinent. And then if you actually follow an actual tapping guide or you do any research about EFT, the next one would be side of rib cage under
Oh,
armpit.
really? Okay.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
it's
you're
kind of
like
a weird one. It's a really hard one to like tap eloquently and demonstrate. That is a, yeah, both sides. And then a lot of people do the karate chop thing, which I very rarely do. But you can also karate chop your
I've
hands
never
together.
done this.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
Yeah. So those are the points.
These are
And
I just want to point out like these are you're activating your lymphatic system as well for drainage.
ooh, I never really thought about that. But yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Which is great. And your lymph is just like the garbage disposal of the body. It just gets rid of shit that
Yeah.
doesn't serve you. So like
Yeah, and also opens up your fascia to help release more fluid toxin stagnation, but also like I'm a massage therapist. Side note.
yeah.
Um So like our body holds on to emotion, trauma, experiences, sometimes past lives. What you ingest on all senses and surfaces gets stored in the body if not released in other ways and maneuvers. So what you're doing is
Mhm.
you're reprogramming, but also you're opening up your
Yeah.
body to release more of what's been stored.
Beautifully put. Thank you for adding that
Welcome. You can even
point.
like do this. This is what I do for
Oh
like
yeah,
my,
fists.
yeah,
Fists are so good, you
especially
guys.
my
Oh,
hips and coming down my
hips.
IT band. Yeah.
Hips for women, absolutely. And that
Hmm.
one, if you do your booty or your legs, or you want to tap or hit on your like thighs or your legs, you can be a little bit more forceful because I mean it's a chunkier
Hmm.
body part. You're not going to hurt yourself.
For sure.
Okay, cool. So, are you still up for this? You feel
Yeah,
good?
let's go. I feel great
Okay,
right now.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay, so if you're driving right now and listening to this, please maybe like pause and come back to this if you are easily influenced by meditations.
Yeah.
uh, yeah, because that's a really real thing. I don't want any accidents. So, what we'll do, Christina, is I'm going to just ask you to get into a comfortable position as best you can. Sitting up is great. We're going to take probably like 2 or 3 big deep breaths in together. So, breathing in, audibly sighing out. Another big deep breath in, audibly sighing out. One more really big deep breath in when it feels good. Audibly sighing out, wiggling, shaking, yes, dropping into the body, letting those eyes close. And if you have not already, or if it feels good to you, we're going to bring one hand to your chest, to your heart space, one hand over the womb or the sacral area, your solar plexus, if that feels better. And we're going to just activate all 5 of our senses here to really drop into the body, really feel into the body where perhaps there are stored emotions, thoughts, or feelings. So, taking your time here, feeling the heat from both palms, I want you to become really aware of your physical body, feeling the weight of your body resting in this position, noticing the heat from your palms, the textures of your clothes, the way that the floor, the bed, or wherever you're sitting, noticing how the furniture comes to support you, dropping into the physical, dropping in. And as you're here activating your physical form, I want you to begin to just ponder. You don't have to hold on to it, but just ponder, what would it look like? What would my physical body feel like if I walked through life feeling just as grounded, just as held, just as supported as I do right here, right now? And really make it real. Perhaps a soft smile falls upon your face, or you begin to kind of sway side to side. Whatever comes up is perfect and correct. And when you feel like you have felt everything that you can possibly feel physically, texture of your clothes, the warmth of your palms, the weight of your body, I want you to bring your awareness to your ears and notice the sounds around you. Perhaps there is noise from the home, just static, or a fan going, a candle burning. Maybe you hear neighbors or dogs barking or a car going by. Whatever you hear, allowing those sounds to take you even deeper into the body, becoming even more in tune. Really, really allowing the breath of yours, mine, the tones and textures of my voice to drop you in further for what is alive with you right now. Feels so good to sit with self. And then Once you feel like you have heard everything that you can possibly hear in this moment in time, we're going to bring your awareness to your sense of smell. Perhaps you take a deep breath in through the nose, whatever feels good for you. And as you become aware, activating this scent, this sense, allow the familiar sense of your space, of your perfume, of your hair, your laundry, whatever it may be, allowing those scents to take you even deeper into a state of full body awareness. Taking one more breath here, really taking it in, really activating that sense. And when you feel like you have smelt everything that you can possibly smell, we're going to bring your awareness to the back of your eyelids. And don't make anything right or wrong. We're simply activating your sense of sight, even though your eyes are closed. Just totally fine. Really notice the smooth, silky darkness behind your eyelids. Notice if there's any static or pops of color, little squiggles. Any thoughts, feelings, or emotions that come up when you're sitting here behind the eyelids in this beautiful, silky darkness. And letting that sense once more take you even deeper into body awareness. By now, you should start to notice where there are points of tension or tightness, any thoughts, feelings, or emotions. And just begin to notice them as we activate the very last, but not least, sense, taste. And I know it may sound silly and it may seem strange, but perhaps you swallow or you run your tongue across your teeth, just noticing this body part as well, noticing any leftover tastes, perhaps from coffee or a snack or gum or toothpaste. Making nothing right or wrong, just activating this sense, becoming aware, going even deeper into the body. And when you're ready, taking one more big deep breath in, audibly sighing out. And in this state of relaxation and awareness, I want you to very slowly begin to rub your hand across the chest in a circle. And as that movement begins to come further into the body, keeping your eyes closed or adopting a soft gaze, I want you to slowly shift from massaging the chest into a light tap. We're just exploring, doing an equitable body scan. You can stay here on the chest or you can shift to another body part. We're going to gently begin this tapping exercise with the phrase, "When is it my turn?" Source, when is it my turn? And any thoughts, feelings, or emotions that come up, allow them to arise. And if the phrase changes, then you can change the phrase, but we're just going to ponder this. When is it my turn? Why isn't enough already? How come I don't see the manifestations active in my life? Yep. Laughing, crying, coughing, shaking. Why don't I see the manifestations that I am manifesting active in my life right now? Where is my partner? Where is the love of my life?
Where is he?
Where is he? What the hell?
The responses I'm getting is so funny.
You can totally interject too and keep it alive, whatever comes up for you. But what the fuck? So
I just
much.
heard stop being so impatient.
Nice. I can't help it. I'm ready. I'm ready. I don't want to be patient anymore. I don't really feel like I need to be honest. I am ready. And then seeing what comes alive in the body, seeing if anything comes up, seeing those downloads, accepting, okay, God, if I have to be patient, can you at least make work better? Can we at least get some sort of win? What do I need to do? What's my next step? I feel like I have done everything you've asked me to do. What the heck? Really seeing what comes up for you in these moments. And guys, if you're listening in, you can adopt these words or take them and run. But really, what the fuck? I feel like I have just been working and working and working and doing all the things. And I'm frustrated. I'm actually kind of frustrated. I know I need to be patient, but I don't want to be patient. My human doesn't want to be patient right now. I feel like a little kid in a candy shop and you're asking me to fucking wait. And I feel like I have waited long enough. So what the hell? When is it my turn? 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 I just need a win. I need a big win. I need a big win. I need a big
win.
I need a big win. Ooh, really breathing that in. Perhaps you want to do a lion's breath or shake it out. I need a big win. I work so hard. Letting that expression, anything at all that is coming up, laughter, tears, cries, maybe you get cold in certain areas of your body. You notice those sensations, really sending them there as we continue to tap and anything else that comes alive. You know what? Fine. 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 I will wait. But this better be so good.
Oh my God, it's so good.
Letting it, you know what? Fine. It's gonna be so good. I trust myself and seeing what comes up. Perhaps there's tension in the jaw. Perhaps your body doesn't fully trust, but your heart and mind does. Maybe you get tightness in the chest. Whatever comes up is perfect and correct. Fine. I am trusting that it's going to be even better than I could possibly imagine. If that feels alive or true, perhaps there's points of tension in the body when we say that, and going to those areas and noticing any resentments that come up with that statement. Yep. Massaging the body. You know what? It's going to be even better than I could possibly imagine. And I am so excited.
So excited.
Guys, let that excitement reach into your body. You know what? It's going to be so good. It's going to be so good.
So good.
Oh my gosh, it's going to be so good.
Oh my God.
I have so much love in my life. My man is hot.
Hell yeah.
Baby. The sex is good. My life is good. God, you know what? I'm sorry. I will wait because this is so good. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Yeah. Letting that really sink in. Letting that really sink in. And so now we've gotten shit up and out. We've affirmed. If there's anything else that comes in, we're going to just practice some gratitude in our tapping right now. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, body.
Thank you, body.
Thank you for being vulnerable.
Girl,
I trust my body.
trust you.
I love my body.
I love my body.
I love my body. I feel safe in this body.
I feel so safe in this body.
I feel beautiful in this body.
I'm so beautiful. This body is so beautiful.
And thank you, Source, for everything that I have. Thank you for the roof over my head. Thank you for the income.
Income.
Mm-hmm. Thank you for the loves that I do have in my life, my friends, my family. I am so loved.
I am so loved.
I am loved. Yeah, I am loved. I am. And anything else that wants to come up in this moment in time. This beautiful, perhaps, yeah, spiraling the body. Those of you at home, you can continue this tapping practice, go as deep as you want to go. And when you're ready, shifting into those body spirals, perhaps bringing the hand back to the heart, back to the sacral. Oh, stretching, breathing deeply when you can, breathing in. Oh, wiggling it out, shaking it out. Bringing all that energy back to the body, 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 back to the body. Thank you, 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 thank you. Yeah. And then gently opening the eyes. Ending out with a yawn.
Yep.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
The
Thank you
messages
for
that I received were things I have received before, but that was
nice. Yeah,
that was
that's
fun.
good. That's good.
Yeah.
Nice. This is a great way to start your day, or anybody who like perhaps you wake up on like the wrong side of the bed and you're like, I just want to get this out of my body. Like it's a really beautiful practice that took us maybe like 10 minutes.
Yeah, I'm gonna be doing this like every day now. I
Yeah.
just love how I feel. And like I was laughing most of the time, but I did like there are tears that did come
Yeah.
out. It just wasn't so extreme.
Sure. Sure.
Yeah.
And that's what's so beautiful about this is a tool that you can use on extreme levels and on simple levels. And whatever expression needs to be expressed, that's what you let up. So today, because we're in love, we had this beautiful, happy tapping experience where like we got to laugh through some of that frustration and like radically step into like joy. But like, yeah, if sadness comes
Which I
up
love.
and yeah, like just let it come up, whatever comes up for sure. And you do not always have to drop so extremely into the body at the beginning, but I find that activating all five of the senses really makes that body sensation alive.
Mm-hmm.
So you can really see what's being stored where.
Can I share my experience?
Absolutely, please do.
Perfect. So
Yeah.
usually when I do any sort of somatic work, I lay down. Even meditation, like I need
Okay.
support on my back. So
Mhm.
being here and sitting in this position, I noticed that my upper heart back was a bit more strained, and I noticed tension in my spine. And for me, in my experiences, that's linked to community.
Mm.
So it's not something for me to apologize for, but and you can include this in this podcast too, but there was a few opportunities in our conversation today where I could have been really detailed in certain aspects of my journey, and I have no shame over it. But I was a bit vague, and what my body was showing me is that the more vulnerable I am, the more supported I feel
Mm.
in myself and with others. So that was yeah, even talking about it, I feel it's heated right now and it's being transmuted. Yeah. Um thank you for that.
Thank you. Thank you
Yeah.
for being vulnerable and showing up.
Yeah. Yeah, it was nice. I liked it.
Good, 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 good. Yeah, that's so beautiful. There, yeah. And think about it too. So your spine, right? You have your rib cage branching off
Yeah.
of like that area. And when you soften all of those bones and all those muscles soften and like taking those deep breaths become easier. So yeah, thank you for trusting me and trusting your body and you were totally vulnerable and amazing today on the
Something I
podcast.
wasn't, but I could have like talked about, my abortion and, my anxiety attacks. And I could have gotten into detail about some of the
Yeah.
more like traumatic experiences that did occur in my relationship with my ex,
Yeah.
when it pertains to like starting over.
Yeah. Well, maybe we'll have you on another time or maybe you'll start your own podcast if you feel called to share your story. I can never get enough of you. So just to wrap this up, because I am going to keep this in the podcast if anyone's listening, if you're okay with that.
Totally.
Perfect.
And
Yeah,
I'm a fish, so I'm drinking a lot of water.
I love it. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Actually, I'm so glad you said that because if anybody does their own little tapping experience, it's a detox. It's a
Mm-hmm.
spiritual detox and your body needs nourishment. So eat good, get rest. Don't be surprised if you have actual physical detox symptoms like a skin breakout or needing to use the restroom. Drink lots of water.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, always drink lots of water.
Yeah, electrolytes, even just like a deeper nourishment of the body. So like for me, self-massage or like sensual dance. I do
Yeah.
that and I'll like talk to myself.
Yeah. Yeah. Mirror gazing. It's all good. It's all
Oh, all
good.
that, yeah.
Yeah.
Lovely. Anyways, continue.
I was gonna say, how if people want to like work with you or get a massage from you or want to just chat with you, if you're open to that, how can people
Oh
connect
yeah.
with you or find you in the world?
So the easiest way would be my social media, which is Christina Alyssa Ramos on Instagram. And I believe on Facebook it's Alyssa Ramos, but both accounts are linked to each other. Massage, I only take private clients in home within my local area.
Okay.
I love doing emotional work on the body and not like a traditional massage, but I can do a traditional massage if that's what someone wants to do. Um but yeah, like there's some things coming. We're gonna talk about this. Um,
Yeah.
there's some things coming that are in the work that God has been dropping in. So if you'd love to stay in my circle in my life and just stay tuned for big beautiful things that are coming, yeah, just reach me out on Instagram and let's connect. Just DM me or comment.
Amazing. Yeah, or comment here and I'll put us all in contact with each other if you
For
don't want to go
sure.
into space. Beautiful. Thank you so much. And as always, if anybody wants to work with me, you can find me here on the podcast and leave a comment, or you can go to raw_reveal and heal on Instagram. Or I have a new website, which is www.revealandhealrah.com, where you can read more about my story, my journey. All of my current offers are on there, and so much more. So yeah, I love all of you. This has been a wonderful episode. Thank you so much.
Bye, y'all.